Well, we got it all ripped apart. Bottom line is, I don't think this junk's gonna go on my new motor. I'll go scrounge through my pile of carburetors and just kit an old one. And I got to looking at this. There's quite the dent right here. I mean, it's like an 1/8 inch lip almost coming from there down onto here. It's still sealing, but not by much. I don't know how they did that. I'm not even sure what that's all about. I got to look at the air fuel mixture screws real quick. This one's sticking out about 1/8 of an inch. Look at how much farther they got the other one dialed in. Typically they're within a half a turn or so of each other. So those are totally out of whack. And then I noticed this. The insert pin. This side's sheared off. It's not even there. MIA. So the whole carb's going to be pivoting on this one side, minus the screws that go through. And it's like, yeah, the screws are fairly snug, but it's definitely, those are pretty tight. When you go down over it, it's just a couple thousandths clearance. It centers it perfect, you know what I'm saying? Now it's going to pivot a little bit on that side, depending on where the screws are, because of the slop in the screw holes. Well, shit, if it pivots a 32nd of an inch, it could be covering something else up a 64th of an inch. What a freaking joke, man. And then I got to looking at this a little more. The different vent tubes that are there in the last video. I was just kind of looking at these Venturi or draft tubes down here. This one's smashed on the side. The other one looks not quite as bad, but I guess it's pretty smashed on the side too. And I'm not for sure, but I can tell they've wedged those in to hold the vent tube in there. I don't ever remember that. These should be just a press-in fit. I mean, I've pulled them off to rebuild them for other people before, and one of these will be in the bowl, fell out, laying in the bowl. But I don't remember ever seeing these smashed in to hold the vent tube. Bottom line is, I don't think this piece of shit's gonna go on the car. It ain't gonna go on nothing. $400 for some parts. I was thinking if nothing else, I had a good throttle plate, but that's bullshit. So, and the bowl section's got the missing freaking guide pin on it, sheared off. And the top plate's jacked and the vent tubes are jacked. So, really, there ain't much salvageable. Here's their float. Nice little nick and tear in the side there. I don't know if you can see it real well in this. This is a used float. Guarantee you, this isn't even a new float. There's all kinds of marks and nicks on it, and that's all it takes is one little tear in the surface area of this, and then it's just like a sponge inside. It just sucks up the gas. So within a couple weeks, this thing probably would have sunk, and it'd have been flooding, and the secondaries wouldn't have been working right, and fuck, who knows, man? What a disaster. I'm gonna give someone a chance in the morning. I'm sure they're not going to do nothing though. I bought this like 3 years ago to go on that motor when I built that motor. So, but whatever. I'm going to fucking hammer them if they don't do anything. If they do, I'll brag about them taking care of it and standing behind of it. But basically at this point, I paid $400 for a parts carburetor. Could have got that for $25 at a goddamn junkyard. So, whatever, man. Definitely, like I said before, this is why you never just pull a new carburetor out of the box and bolt to some bitch on, because this is the kind of crap you're stuck dealing with. I've seen so many problems. And the Q-Jet that's on my plow truck right now, I got for free from a buddy 20 years ago. I told him, it was a reman. I said, just pull the top plate, check everything before you put it on your car. He didn't listen, throws it on his car, and it's flooding. He gives it to me a couple days later. Take this piece of shit. I'm going to start running Hollies. Okay. I pull the top plate, and there's an E-clip. There's an E-clip laying right here, like a linkage E-clip. They torqued the top plate down with that E-clip laying there. So it was just, that's all I did. Took the top plate off, seen an E-clip laying there, pulled the E-clip out because I knew it didn't belong there. Torqued everything back down, and it's still on the truck. Been running that carburetor ever since, but it's just another classic example of just because it's brand new don't mean shit anymore, man. So I'm going to run back to storage this evening and see what I got left for complete units laying around. And I can't even see putting this turd on the motor. It's just not going to happen, man. So anyhow, everybody be safe.